All right, good morning. Gonna try to do a snowy ride to Crackerbarrel, which is pretty far from here. It could be a 50-minute ride, so hopefully we can get the whole way there with FSD. If we can, that's great. If not, I'll shut it off, obviously, if it's unsafe. We'll see how the roads are. We'll get going. Right now, we'll switch over to sloth mode to start. It's a lot of mountainous roads where I live, so hopefully it takes its time and we get up there pretty good. We'll see. Hope everyone's having a great weekend so far. Alright, so we're gonna go out here. We got an unprotected left turn here, but there really aren't that many cars on the road right now, so it's a good time to test out the snowy conditions. We'll go here. All right, good job so far. Not too much snow, but definitely want to be careful. The car sometimes does slide, even though it's a pretty heavy car. So we'll see here. Now we're going to make a right here. This is a pretty hilly road also, so we'll see how we do. So far, I like what I'm seeing. It's doing about 19, 20 miles per hour in sloth mode. I don't feel like we're going too fast. It really is beautiful out when it snows. Fresh snow is great. Day-old snow not as nice. We got some decent snow yesterday. Didn't get to get out there yesterday for a ride, and now we're getting, looks like, probably another inch or so. I don't know how much more as we get further north towards Crackerbarrel. Here we go. We're sliding up this hill a little bit, but we're going. Good job so far. Making it up this hill. I got my foot near the brake pedal. I got my hands close to the wheel if I have to take over. Hopefully it slows down here for this turn here around the bend. So it puts the blinker on here, which it really doesn't need to do, but it does. Looks like it's been plowed and sanded pretty decently here, so slows down though. Makes the turn. Alright, not sliding at all. This part of the road looks to have been plowed and sanded a little bit better. I would imagine the highways are going to be fine. We'll see. Definitely going really slow, which is nice. So I don't know if it's because we're in sloth mode or if we're in sloth mode and it knows it's snowing, but you don't feel unsafe in these type of conditions right now at these speeds. I'm going to kick it up to chill mode, see if that makes it go any significantly faster. Not really. We can stay in chill mode right now, I guess. There goes a plow truck. They do a great job with the roads where I live. which is good. I know there are some areas you get a little bit of snow, they don't do a great job plowing, and you know, cars are getting stuck, cars are sliding all over. These roads, you know, seem fine. Did not even realize it was supposed to snow today. So here we're going down. Still the road's pretty good, pretty plowed, pretty well. So again, I want to take this opportunity to thank everyone who's been watching these videos. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate all the support. If you do watch, if you could like and subscribe, that'd be great. Also, turn on your notification bells. It just helps me grow with the channel. I don't know what happened here. I just think this guy's just hanging out. But I appreciate all the feedback. Like I said, I'm not a Tesla expert. I'm just doing this for fun. Want to bring you guys some good rides. You can see some good scenery, good neighborhoods. So if I say something that's incorrect about the car or anything, just, you know, let me know. Not pretending to be an expert. I'm still driving 14.2.2.2. Still hopefully waiting to get 14.2.2.3. And then I'll test that out and see if there's any changes. So far in the snowy conditions, I feel comfortable letting the car do FSD. We're going to come up here, we're going to make a left onto the Palisades Parkway, and then we'll see how the roads are on the Palisades Parkway. But I would imagine they wouldn't be really bad. Well, let's see here. Nice, slow, takes its time getting onto the ramp. Good job here. Taking its time, waiting to merge. It's a good slow merge. No crazy acceleration or anything like that. We could just stay here in chill mode or go to standard mode. But chill mode right now seems alright. Let's see some of these profiles here. Down to dynamics. We can change that to chill also. That'll slow down the acceleration. Yeah, I'm going to stay in chill mode. No rush to get there. It's pretty foggy out as well. So. Seems like I'm being passed by everyone. I still have my foot near the brake and the accelerator, and my hands are close enough to the wheel where I can take over if I have to. Look at this wipers off here. Put them on auto. So hope some of you got to catch that the Buffalo Bills Denver Broncos football game yesterday. That was a really great game. Not sure who everyone was rooting for. I don't think the refs did a great job. Not entirely sure how that was an interception and not a catch. I think they were a little bit inconsistent with calling pass interference for both teams, but was a great game. 49ers Seahawks game, not as great. So hopefully we get some good games today. Get New England at Houston, or Houston at New England, I should say. And we're going to have the Rams in Chicago playing against the Bears. So I look forward to sitting on my couch, watching some football, and just hanging out, relaxing. Doing about 51 right now in standard mode. The speed limit here is 55. Totally fine with the speed. Roads are good, a little slushy, that's it. We're actually going to pass some good historic areas on our way to Crackerbarrel. We're going to go over the Bear Mountain Bridge, and the whole area of Bear Mountain was pretty significant during the Revolutionary War. So I'll have Grok see if Ara can give us some history on like the significance of Bear Mountain area and the Revolutionary War. Speeding up now, getting up close to 55. A little bit of a downhill here. But no sliding or anything. Just a little bit of slush. It's really not, road conditions really aren't bad on the highway at all. Conditions stay the same as we get further north. It does a really good job now seeing brake lights and slowing down in advance. It sees the car in front of me slowing down, so we're slowing down. That was one of the main issues I had with the version 13 build, is that it still kamikazed in there and would brake last minute, which would really make you nervous. Your heart would just be racing. But the anticipation it has on the highway now is great. Someone in the comments from one of my other videos asked how it does during, if it sees a bus. And it's okay during a bus, if it sees a bus out with stop signs, it'll stop. The only negative is if you see a bus on the other side of the road, sometimes it just sees that bus and it'll start to slow down and kind of move over for that bus. Same thing with emergency vehicles. It's not great with emergency vehicles in that regard, that it'll see emergency vehicles on the other side of the road, and sometimes it'll just try to pull over for those emergency vehicles. And then I also had a couple navigation issues recently that I just happened to not be filming at the time. But we had a route in, this happened twice. And one time we had a route, we were supposed to make a left onto a turn, and it was at least a quarter mile, until the turn. And the car tried to, FSD wanted to make a left into a parking lot that was a quarter mile away from the actual turn. So I had to disconnect that. And then a similar issue, I don't remember exactly where, but where FSD wanted to turn somewhere where I wasn't supposed to turn, that wasn't even, near the route. I understand sometimes it doesn't go the exact route. It can make some changes, but that definitely seemed to be a mistake. Here we're making a lane change. Let me hit the wipers for us. There we go. Make sure you guys can see out the window. I'll see if I can get this video out to you guys today. So it's kind of a real time. Something to do on Sunday. Watch a little snowy ride all the way up to Crackerbarrel. I have a buddy who lives in the Beacon area, so this Crackerbarrel happens to be in Fishkill, New York. So I like to drive and meet him every now and then. Crackerbarrel is one of my favorite restaurants. I think I'm going to go with steak and eggs. I typically go steak and eggs, or I go grilled catfish and eggs. So we're on the left side. We're a little close to the shoulder where it's pretty slushy. Not bad. Obviously it'll take a little bit longer for us to get to than usual. Keep on watching videos of other YouTubers just to see what's going on with Tesla regarding their pricing and any deals that they're having, because I'm going to need to get a new car soon, well, relatively soon. The lease on this is up at the end of July, so I think 2 months into it I'm allowed to, with 2 months left in the lease, I'm allowed to give it back. They'll forgive the last 2 payments, so I'm probably going to want to do that because I'm over miles and I'm constantly having to buy additional miles, which isn't great, but I do like driving the car. I did originally get 15,000 miles a year. I just need to drive a lot for work, and now I like showing you guys around, so a little additional driving just to get these videos out. And a few weeks ago they were having some really good deals. The 0 money down on a Model Y long range, or now they call it the Model Y Premium. And I think you could have gotten 0 money down, 15,000 miles a month, in the mid 500 range. But they took that deal off the table, and now it's you got to put 3,000 down, and prices are higher. So hopefully, when I'm looking to get something, the prices have come down. in traffic because there's a plow truck ahead of us. I also just realized I forgot to turn off the cellular service on my phone while I'm videoing this, so hopefully the video does not get cut off at some point. I did a really nice ride once and someone texted me and I guess it interrupted the camera for whatever reason, and I usually turn the cellular service off before I do these videos now because I use my iPhone to video them, and I forgot to do that this morning. I was so eager to get out in the snow and get something going for everyone. Hopefully we get there and the thing's still rolling. Alright, we're starting to slow down a little bit. I got my foot near the brake just in case I have to take over, but so far, doing alright. Job anticipating the stopping here. You definitely do not want to have to slam on the brakes. We have to get over to the right here. Okay. Good job getting over to the right. And now this road is definitely a little bit more snowy. We're going to switch this down to chill mode for sure right here. And this is the road to lead up to the Bear Mountain Bridge. Beautiful scene we have going on right here with, it's thick snow, so it's really nice and stuck into the trees or the tree branches. It's a heavy snow. Wipers going over a few guys right here. Alright. Once we get off of the highway and the Bear Mountain Bridge, we do have to take some, just regular streets, so hopefully those are plowed pretty well. It looks like the snow's let up a little. I'm not sure how much we're supposed to get. People are uncomfortable doing FSD when it's not snowing. It adds a whole level of discomfort trusting in the car while it's snowing. And it's not that the car is doing anything wrong, it's just human nature. Slowing up here a little bit as we turn. We're going to come to a roundabout soon also, so going to hit up a roundabout, and then we're going to head to the Bear Mountain Bridge. And this is also the same way to West Point. Sloth mode here just to make sure that it slows down even more. It gets a little bit of a windy road right here. It's starting, the cars in front of us are starting to really slow down. As we approach the roundabout, the visibility isn't great either. So, all right, now we're coming to the roundabout. Doing a good job slowing down here in advance. Hope these guys get right in. Yielding, and we're right in. Perfect. Previous builds used to really just fly through this roundabout. The car's gotten a lot safer when it comes to roundabouts. And now we're going to get on the Bear Mountain Bridge right here. This lead up looks pretty plowed. Let's ask Ara to give us some history on just Bear Mountain in general. Good morning, Ara. I'm here with the Salty Tesla crew. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing great, especially with the Salty Tesla crew around. How's everyone holding up?
Everyone's holding up well. It's snowing and we're going over the Bear Mountain Bridge in Rockland County. Just was hoping you can give people a little bit of history of the Bear Mountain Bridge and its significance during the Revolutionary War, the whole area of Bear Mountain, not the bridge per se.
The Bear Mountain Bridge, opened in 1924, was the world's longest suspension bridge at the time, and the first vehicular crossing south of Albany, linking Rockland and Orange counties to the east side. Before it, in the Revolutionary War, this Hudson Highland spot was crucial. Americans stretched a massive chain across the river in 1776 to block British ships, and British forces under Henry Clinton captured nearby Forts Clinton and Montgomery in 1777. Delaying aid to Burgoyne at Saratoga, and helping turn the tide for the colonies.
All right, so there you have it, a little bit of history. The roads here are good, actually, so let's go into hurry mode. They did a really good job plowing these roads. So as long as we stay in the middle of the road here, we'll be okay. So hopefully everyone enjoys a video like this. I'll break it down into chapters so that you can, skip around. But I'm going to try to put the entire video out. I think it's a nice scenic ride. Let's see what happens if we go to Mad Max mode. I don't think the car really wants to go fast. It might be recognizing that that it's slippery and just not. It's choosing on its own not to go fast, which is good. That's a good safety feature. But that Bear Mountain area is great. Like when I first moved here, we would hike some of those trails. There's like a whole trail where you can see the old forts. They have like a walking Revolutionary War history museum that you can check things out. There's a little zoo. So when my kids were really young, we used to come. We would take them to the walking zoo. It's free. Just give a little donation when you get in. And all this stuff isn't too far north of the city. So it's definitely a good tourist spot. New York got some pretty cool places to check out that are north of Manhattan. But yeah, if this was nicer weather, we'd be going through here probably closer to 45, 50 miles per hour in Mad Max mode. So car definitely realizes that the conditions are a little bit slick. Taking its time. Let's see if this guy hopefully stays and doesn't try to cut us off. All right, good. I haven't really watched anyone's videos on 14.2.2.3, so I'm not sure, what the improvements are. I kind of want to go into it blind, so when I finally get it, I can give you guys my honest assessment without any bias. Going around 45 miles per hour. Nice windy road. So when we crossed the Bear Mountain Bridge, we went from Rockland County, and then we went into Westchester County. I'm not sure exactly what county Crackerbarrel's in. I don't remember exactly. Maybe it's Putnam. I don't know. When we get closer, we could ask what county we're in. Pretty good time. Should be there in about 23 minutes or so. Passing the Garrison Institute. I wish I could tell you exactly what the Garrison Institute is, but I do not know. But we're in the area of Garrison. It really is a nice, scenic, pretty ride, though. FSD does a great job with these windy roads. Very smooth. quick light. I won't even have to edit that down. And the roads here are great. You know, you wouldn't be concerned about these roads at all. Church here to the left with an old cemetery. Even where I live in New City, there's an old cemetery, like a small old cemetery. You see headstones from, you know, the 1700s. I think as early as like the 1600s. I've seen some headstones there, just, you know, from the side of the road. And I really love history. I'm like a history buff, so. The fact that I live near a bunch of, you know, historic sites, connected to the Revolutionary War and everything is pretty cool. There's a really good restaurant in Rockland also. I think it's in Tapan. It's called the 1776 House, or the 76 House. And it's supposedly the oldest tavern in all of New York. And a lot of Revolutionary War heroes, you know, would stay there or eat there. George Washington was there, and a bunch of people. And the food's excellent. They have like replicas of the old muskets. You could hold them. They let the kids hold them. They're really heavy. They have a ghost story. So if you go there, make sure you ask the guy, the host or the maitre d' to tell you the ghost story. The 76 House in Tapan. Job though with the roads around this part of town. There's going to be a really big cemetery on our right as we head up this way. Not sure, how old this cemetery is, but I'm doing a good job here. It's 30 miles per hour, the speed limit. Roads are, pretty good, keeping to that speed limit. The version 13 build of this would never get the speed right, even in Mad Max mode. Well, there was no Mad Max mode then, but even in the quickest mode you can go at that time on the speed profile, it would maybe do 25 miles per hour, maybe 22. So you always felt like you were creeping along, and you had to help it with a little bit of acceleration on your own. This is a cute little town here. I got really cute houses, and then you'll notice to the right as we get further up, there's like some cute little stores. We're going to take the left fork in the road. The roads are still pretty good. These stores here, this little red barn looking bakery and everything, it reminds me of like a cute little town in Vermont. I'm not sure why. Definitely keep commenting on these videos. Put in the comments if you like these type of rides, these scenic routes. I know the city rides, a lot of people like the rides through Manhattan, through Queens. There's a little bit more action with traffic and pedestrians, but sometimes these pretty rides are nice just to like relax and watch. So definitely, comment on what you prefer. I told myself when I started this channel that I'm going to just put out videos that I think people would like watching, and that how they do really isn't as significant. Obviously I want people to watch it, but I also want to put out videos that I like making and rides that I like doing. So can't just chase clicks. Got to be a little true to myself here, and hopefully you guys like what you see. Still in mid-max mode. It's going below the speed limit, so it's definitely taking the conditions into account on its own. Which is what you want to see, especially because Tesla's really just going towards autonomy. And if you're in a robo-taxi and the weather conditions aren't great, you want to know that the robotaxi is going to do, you know, what's safe, not what's always, you know, fast. If anyone that's watching and happens to, you know, go to Cracker Barrel or really enjoys Cracker Barrel, pop in the comments what your favorite dish is at Cracker Barrel. Just curious what people, you know, get there, if people go there. Like I said, I'm a steak and eggs guy or a catfish guy, mostly grilled catfish, green beans. If I'm there for lunch, I like to get the salad if I'm there for lunch, but I don't really deviate much. I'm pretty much a creature of habit. Find two things on a menu that I like, and I, you know, just switch back and forth. I'm actually going to start a 72-hour fast today at 4 o'clock. So I'm going to make my last meal today 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then I'm going to not eat again until Wednesday 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm going to just have liquid water and coffee or tea. That's it. Not even bone broth. I try to do that once or twice a month. Really, you know, cleans out your system. Helps regenerate your cells. Alright, good turn here. Not sliding that much. Slid for like about a second, but nothing bad. So far it does seem like the car does some, you know, it does pretty well when it's sliding. Does, you know, counter steering, you know, it doesn't lose control of the car. Snow here than we did on those other roads, but nothing, you know, to be concerned about. So far so good. Hopefully this video actually recorded and we didn't get disconnected by anything with the phone. We're about 7 minutes away. But some of my concerns, you know, regarding snow rides or, you know, poor weather have been answered. It does seem like the car tries to be a little bit safer. You know, obviously this wasn't a crazy snowstorm. but if we do get one of those, I'll try again to get back out there. As long as I feel safe doing it, I'll keep letting the FSD handle the poor conditions so we can show you guys what it's like. But this was definitely a good taste of poor weather. The fact that they treat the roads, a lot of these places, they precondition the roads with some type of liquid substance, and then they, obviously plow and sand it makes a big difference. I took the car, I want to say it was in March last year, from my house to Cracker Barrel, and maybe it was even April, and it was like a spring snow. I think it was April. It was a spring snow, and they clearly weren't expecting it, so they didn't have the roads pre-treated, and they didn't have the plows out, and it was a wet mess, and people were sliding all over the place. Even I was sliding all over the place in this car, and people were, you saw people in accidents off the sides of the Palisades, and you wouldn't have thought that amount of snow would have done that. So clearly, what they do to the roads helps. See off to the left, but I mean this shopping center here is all abandoned for the most part. This one right to the left, and then you have some shops at this other one. You have like a Home Depot and a McDonald's. I'm not sure why this area. I don't know what happened around here. Let's see what county we're in. I'm curious. Ara, what county are we in?
We're in Dutchess County, right here in Fishkill, New York.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so we're in Dutchess. So Cracker Barrel's in Dutchess, and most of these Cracker Barrels are always off the interstate, so that's why you see, Centra 84. We passed a bunch of hotels, or we're gonna pass a bunch of hotels. All right, someone's calling. It's gonna run the video. But you'll see here we're going to be passing a Hampton Inn. So Cracker Barrel has a formula. They're off an interstate near a bunch of hotels. Obviously, they want that type of traffic. Does westerns here. Excuse me, sorry. Coming down with a little bit of a cold. One time I drove all the way to Cracker Barrel with my in-laws for Father's Day, and the wait was so bad we wound up eating at this Red Line diner. And the food was pretty good, but I didn't really plan on driving 45 minutes to eat at a diner. But we're here, we're about to pull into the parking lot. It'll probably find us a spot that's, too far away from the front door. And if it does that, I'll move closer. But I want to appreciate everyone for, thank everyone for watching. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate the support that I've been getting with the channel. Gonna continue to pop out some good content for you guys. So hopefully everyone enjoys the rest of their weekend. And let's see where we park. I don't know how it's gonna find a spot if the parking lot is covered, but we'll see if it does. Okay, this person comes in here. A lot of spots. It should just back into one of these. Would be great. But it doesn't love to park at the first spot always. And if it backs in here, but this is a curbside, so it can't go there. So I'm gonna just take over here. I'll pull in forward right over here. And we will end the video. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Have a great rest of the weekend. Take care.